Hello and welcome to a leg day routine for the Bowflex. Today we're working out from this ground set of pulleys here. So if your Bowflex does not have one, don't worry about it. There's another really similar routine linked in the description. This one's really not for you though, but I'm working out here on a Bowflex Blaze and it has this ground set of pulleys down here, which is great for doing squats, and so that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, the Bowflex Conquest and Sport, there's a whole lot of different models that have this set of pulleys, and so we got them, so let's put them to use. Now, today's routine is part of the Bowflex 100 program, and in this program, we write down our numbers as we go, and there's a free PDF linked in the description. Write down your resistance, your reps, when you come back to this routine next time, you're going to have a good weight to rack up from lift number one and really make the most of the workout. Now, this whole program, this is being released for free here on YouTube. So all of the videos are hosted for free PDFs with all of them, and also hosting them all ad-free here on YouTube. And that's all possible thanks to the support over on Patreon. So if you want to be part of that community, get you access to this program and all my other programs, check that out over there. That whole community helps make this thing sustainable for me, because really every time I put out a new video, it's kind of competing with my older videos. And so for me, mostly my ad revenue stays the same, but that support over on Patreon makes this possible, makes it sustainable for me to keep putting out content like this. You can also buy this as a standalone program if you don't like being subscribed to stuff. I totally get that as well. Patreon is the best way to support the channel though. Now we got a few different pieces of gear that we're going to be using throughout this routine. We're going to be doing some ankle or some hip work here. So I've got some ankle straps I'll be using. Also, we'll be using some handles for one set. You can use the normal Bowflex handles or the short ones. It doesn't really matter. We're doing a single leg deadlift. And like I mentioned at the start, we're gonna be doing some squats. So there's a squat bar and then these extender straps. And you really need the extender straps to actually do squats. Otherwise, there's just not the right range of motion. It's not gonna work out. Now, if you've never used these straps here before, or the squat bar before, I'm gonna go into that a little bit further in just a moment. Once you get it set up for the first time, it's a little tricky. Once you're set up, you don't need to worry about it again. You just keep the straps where they're at. We're also going to be doing some leg extension and some leg curls. And so there's this extra seat here that comes with, I think, all of them. That just kind of goes back here, and it's going to get you in the right position to do leg curls. So anyways, that's the plan for this routine. We're gonna talk about the squat bar, and then we're gonna rack up our resistance and then do a warm up. So hope you join me for this routine, and I'll see you right back. Okay, so let's talk about how you hook this up for the first time. You got this cable here. It's about 35 inches long. What you're gonna do is you're gonna run it underneath this pulley here, connect it to the weight at the back, and this ball, this is gonna be on the outer part of the pulley. From here, you got two other cables you're gonna need, or two other attachments. So this one here, it's got this little loop here, really simple. Just put this on your bar, loop it in, and you're good to go. That's where you're gonna be clipping the weight onto, but you can't just clip this right up there because you just don't have enough cable train. What you need is this extender thing. So this has got a lot going on, and what I like doing is I like having this part here with this adjuster clipped in right down here. Now, I'm 5'11", and for my measurement or my height here, I like having this run from where I clip in all the way up to the top here. It runs about 20 inches here. And, so adjust that a little bit. If you're taller, maybe add a few more inches. If you're shorter, maybe drop it a few inches. What you want to be doing is when you're standing up all of the way, you don't want to run out of cable length. You want to have just a little bit of cable length, so you're really maximizing your extension or your resistance through the extension. So this, once you got the right cable length, you're going to clip this in, and that's going to be kind of how you start this whole lift. Now, if you have the Bowflex upgrade kit that I sell, these elastic bands can also be clipped on right down here as well. So you can clip these right in here. Now, you might be like, hey, where'd this extra strap come from? There's 4 securing straps that come with the kit. You don't really actually need the one that goes back here because there's a little pin that goes in here, and you kind of end up down a securing strap over there. But instead, then you can hook them up right down here, clip in those, and you're good to go. Now, I would not clip in all of your bands that you're using. I only like having 80 pounds of bands here and then 80 pounds of power rods hooked up as I do this. And the reason for that is I just don't think the machine is like engineered and designed to do 300-pound squats or something. So You know, as you're standing on this plate and, you know, kind of how this all hooks together and stuff, I want you to be kind of feeling it out. If it doesn't feel safe to you, you need to, you know, reduce the resistance that's all racked up here. So I would probably rack up a little bit more resistance if everything felt, you know, super stable. But that's why I'm only going with 80 pounds. I might do a couple more reps than I normally do with my squats, and that's how I'm gonna make up for a little bit lower resistance. So that's the plan for today. Now let's get into the warm-up. All right, let's get going. Jogging in place here for 90 seconds. Alternatively, you could do jumping jacks. You can do maybe some high knees, whatever you want to do to get your body warm. We're gonna be doing some body weight squats in a moment, so you might want to save those. Now, while we're doing this, let's talk about today's lifts. First up, we're starting with squats. So hopefully you've got your resistance run down there now so you can, you know, clip in and get ready to go pretty quickly. After that, we're gonna be doing hip adduction from the ground set of pulleys. And that's where we're gonna clip on with those ankle straps. After that, we're gonna kind of flip it around and do a hip extension, so kicking our leg out away from our body. From there then, I'm gonna be running my resistance to the normal sets of pulleys in the back, to single-legged deadlift or Romanian deadlift. And then we're gonna be running the resistance to our leg extension attachment. We're gonna start out with some leg curls. And then we're gonna move into leg extension to finish out the routine. So we're blasting our quads right at the end. So let's go ahead and wind this down here. And we're gonna move into some head rotations, just loosen up our neck. A couple full spins here. Let's change directions. One more spin, and then we're gonna go into torso twist. So you're gonna have your hands together, or you can even have them out wide. We're just loosening up our back, our core. All right, nice. So body weight squats here. Arms out in front of us, we're gonna use this as a counterbalance. Legs are gonna be a little bit wider and shoulder width apart, and we're gonna drop down and raise up. Now drop down as low as you can comfortably go. And as you drop down, one thing I want you to pay attention to, and we're gonna be watching this when we get into weighted squats, is where our knee ends up. You don't wanna be leaning forward like with your knee way ahead of your toes. That's gonna put a lot of pressure on kind of like all of your joints. So if you can drop straight down, that's what you wanna do. So, okay, from here, we're going to go into a lunge and reach. So we're going to lunge here, and then I like reaching up in the sky here, holding this for a few seconds. We're going to raise up out of it. Now let's go the other way. Oh, other foot. All right, nice. So from here, let's go into a quad stretch. So we're just gonna pull one leg up here, loosen up our quads. And you can lean up against something if you need it. Let's go ahead and switch legs. And when this clock hits about 20 or 25 seconds, you can do whatever you wanna do, whatever you need today to get loose. I think I'm gonna move into just a forward fold here. So we're gonna do this final stretch and then start racking up our resistance. Ten more seconds. Okay, so our first lift we're gonna be doing is squats. Now, depending on your experience level, you might be able to do a lot of resistance with squats. So again, make sure you got your bar kind of all hooked up down here. We've got our cable resistance connected back here. I'm using this upgrade kit as well. and it's all running through that ground set of pulleys. Now I've maxed out what I think the machine should be doing with, basically I have 80 pounds of upgrade bands, and then I have 80 pounds of resistance. Now I want you to be feeling this out for yourself. Now the machine, you know, is not rated to do, you know, 400, 300 pound squats or something. So if you need to do a couple more reps to make up for a little bit lighter weight setting than you normally do, go for it. Normally I do 10 reps per set, but normally I might rack up a little bit more resistance, but again, this is safety first here. So, you know, feel this out, and I just don't like how it almost feels like the machine is rocking a bit if I rack up much more resistance in this. So again, 80 pounds of power rods plus 80 pounds of bands is kind of where I'm capping it out today. So let's, I'm gonna be going for 15 reps per set. I'm gonna be counting as I go. So I might be working out a little bit past the timer here. Now, to get started here, we gotta get this weight over our head. And once you've done that, let's go ahead and stand up. And this is gonna be our starting position here. So join me, and we're gonna take a nice slow drop and then raise up out of it. So I almost end up sitting on the bar here as I drop down and then raise, and that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now for your breathing with this, I almost want you to pretend like you're standing in a pool of water that's at shoulder height. So you inhale, hold it, and then exhale once you get past the water there. All right, nice. Kind of lost count there. I'm gonna call that 15. You know, if I'm not counting out loud, I just end up guessing on my numbers. So I encourage you to count along as we're doing this thing, and you know, keep writing these numbers down. So we have a full minute of rest between each set of squats. When we're doing some of the hip work, working only one leg at a time, we're gonna have a shorter rest interval. So, you know, even with that full minute though, squats are these big compound movements. And so it's gonna knock the breath out of me. Let's get started here. Let's raise up. And let's drop it down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Nice. Now I should have been a little more clear that I'm doing 15. If you feel like you've got a challenging resistance, only do 10. I would probably rack up a little bit more if I didn't feel, you know, have that safety or stability concern there. Okay, less than 10 seconds. Time's already up. Let's get back into position here. Here we go, drop it down. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 'kay, we're almost starting again here. Now, as you do that first rep, you might need to kind of shake out your legs a little bit here or find the right footing to get as stable as you can on this foot plate. Okay, 10 seconds. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't be afraid to have your butt go back a lot. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's go. Now I'm like half regretting decide I'm doing 15 today. I forget how much this like knocks, it takes the breath out of you. But you know, this is my workout today too. So we're working out together here. And if you hear me grunting a little bit, that's because I am struggling. But we're gonna get through this thing together. Here we go, last set of squats. Make this thing count. All right, standing, and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you got this. 6, we have a longer rest interval coming up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so we are done with our squat bar. You can set this thing aside for now. Maybe for days, weeks, I don't know. And we're gonna be doing those hip adductions coming up next here. Now for this, I like having 100 pounds racked up. Also, for my leg, my ankle straps, I have these where my foot can go around it. I actually just like putting my foot right through here and wrap it around both sides. And what I'm gonna be doing is racking up 50 pounds on each side. Or sorry, 100 pounds. I'm gonna be using elastic bands plus the normal resistance here. once I get into this. So here we go. So I'm gonna be standing here. Basically my outer leg is the end of our hip extension attachment, and I might just be bringing this weight in towards my body here. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try to get that full range of motion. 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 2 more. 11 and 12. So speaking of the range of motion here, this, if you watch it, is almost touching the pulley at the very end of this range of motion. And so that's where you want to be to maximize the amount of resistance you're getting. So from here, short rest interval, we're just switching sides, y'all. Okay, here we go. Extend and bring it back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, another short rest interval. We're just spinning around, other side again. I did not anticipate being so sweaty, and so I'm having a hard time clipping everything together tonight. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, other side. Now after this, we're gonna go into hip extension. For hip extension, I generally drop the weight 20 to 30%, and we're not gonna have a lot of time to adjust it between sets here. So here we go. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, things were moving a little too quick, so I've kind of paused the video. Give us a little more time to reset to get into our leg extension. So I've dropped my resistance down from 100 pounds on both sides down to 80 pounds of power rods. And adjust that to where you're at. 50 even feels like a lot. I hope I can do 80, but if you're doing 30, that's cool too. Write down those resistance numbers. So for this lift, what I like to do is face the Bowflex, and I'm gonna take my outer leg then and then go ahead and clip it in here. So I've got my ankle strap all clipped in here, and this inner leg is kind of almost lined up with the pulley, maybe a little bit closer to the tower. I'm gonna have one arm resting up against the tower, and I'm gonna extend out here like this, and then I'm gonna slowly retract and bring this weight in. The longer you hold it out, the much more difficulty that brings to this exercise. So let's extend it out here and slowly retract. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, unclipping on this side, and we're just gonna spin around to the other side. So we got 30 seconds to do this here. So we're moving still pretty quickly. And let's get clipped in. Ready to go. Again, we're facing the Bowflex, and we're kind of running this behind the other leg here. So let's extend this out here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If you got the time, write it down. I'm gonna keep moving here. I got 10 reps in here. I'm done with those extra sets here. Here we go, 10 seconds, and we're right back at it. All right, let's extend it out. Slowly retract. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, last set of this hip extension, and then we're going into a Romanian deadlift, or a one-legged version of it. We're gonna have a extended break coming up after the set though. Here we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes. All right, we're done with ankle straps. Get the things out of here. Moving over to the handles. So we're also done working from this ground set of pulleys. Now I should mention actually, before we move out of this entirely, this next lift, if you want to use the ground pulleys, you can do it. So the way you do this is you just clip in a handle, definitely the shorter handle if you got them, and you basically have 1 foot on this platform here, and you'd be holding this handle, and then you're going to reach back and then raise back up here. So what you want to do then is have kind of this weight at your side, and your other arm come down to the side as well. So you're reaching forward and then bringing it together. Now, unfortunately, the resistance curve just does not work for me. I don't think it's going to work for a lot of people like that. And so that's why I'm going to recommend doing it from this back set of pulleys. Now, the amount of resistance you rack up, I'm putting only 50 pounds, is really not the challenge here. What I want you to do is think about, the highest quality reps that you can get in here. So we're gonna have, let's see, our inner foot is going to be planted and our outer arm is going to be reaching across the machine. And what we're going to do is we're going to lean forward here. I'm just holding the bench just for a second, and we're going to be trying to go in as much of a straight position like that and then come back into this. Now, we're going to get a lot of glute activation as we rock forward. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. And I know this is a test of flexibility and balance. 4. And trust me, the more these you do, the better you're going to get at them. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, I know my form on these is not perfect, and it's fun though to be working on improving just your form and your technique on a lift, and not make it all about the resistance that you're doing. So really come to it from that place here of nice, smooth quality reps. That's 1, 2, and reach back and forward as much as you can. 3, 4. As you swing forward, the glute in your foot that's planted should really be activated. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So if you're really struggling with your balance, the more you lean up against your Bowflex, the more that's going to help. And no shame in that. Stick with me here. Even if this rep, or even if this exercise doesn't feel like your jam here, stay with me. We just have one more on both sides before we go into our leg extension and our leg curls. Okay, one more set. All right, great form here. Let's go, guys. Reaching forward and pull it back in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, leg curls are coming up next. So we're gonna be hooking our bench up. We got a few things to do here. Got that minute 30 though. First off, I'm gonna be dropping my resistance yet again. I'm going down to just 30 pounds of power rods on both sides. And we're putting our bench together, and we're also gonna be hooking up that leg extender for our leg curls. So, for that extra seat attachment here. We're all clipped in there, and now it's just a matter of hooking up our resistance here at the base of the machine. So don't worry about going really light on this lift. This is a tough one, and you know, we got time to adjust it as needed. So I'm gonna now get in position here. So we're gonna be lying down on our stomachs here. And you wanna have basically your ankles or your Achilles kind of where those foam pads are right now. So from here, we're just lying down and we're gonna be curling up here and then slowly lowering the weight. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get that nice range of motion to get a good squeeze. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now as you're doing this, you may have noticed if you're looking at me at all, I have my hands on the frame of the machine. That's not necessarily a proper technique. That's just so I'm not smashing the microphone here. Okay, so you could adjust that weight setting or you can get right back into it. That was feeling perfect to me, so I'm keeping it where it's at. And we're gonna get right back in position. Here we go, curl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should really be feeling those hamstrings about now. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, one more set of those leg curls to go. And then we're going to finish out with leg extensions. You know, this routine is feeling a little tougher than it did in practice. I didn't do 15 reps on squats though, and I think that shortened rest interval really got me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. All right, so going into leg extensions, I'm removing the seat attachment. You can keep it. The manual says to keep it. I don't like keeping it. And for my resistance, I'm gonna go with a total of 130 pounds of resistance between the two sides. Normally when I talk about resistance, I'm talking about the two summed together, but or I'm talking about individual sides. Right now I'm talking about both together. So I got a 50 on one side and I got the full 80 on the other. So from here, leg extensions, we're just gonna be extending this weight out, holding it for a second and slowly lowering. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, 45 seconds of rest here. Hope I give you enough time to switch into that last set there. Right before recording, I was trying to get this video down to just under 40 minutes. I've noticed on YouTube that workouts that are over 40 minutes don't perform quite as well as like high 30s. And so I'm trying to get it squeezed into that like 38, 39 minute range. And I may have cut just a little too much out. We'll see. Okay, we got another set coming up here, 10 seconds. I want you in position. Hands are gonna be a little bit behind your butt, or you can go right underneath. Leaning back just a bit, and we're gonna extend it out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, 2 things I want to mention here real quick. I forgot to say that you can actually use the elastic band resistance with leg extensions. I don't really need them. I have basically a brand new Bowflex here with brand new rods, but you can clip them in. I'll link a video showing you how to do that in the description if you need more resistance there. Also, I want to give a big thank you and shout out to those Patreon members that support the channel. The ones at the elite tier get their name in the credits. That's at $12 a month, but you get access to all of my workout programs at just $6 a month. Again, you know, great way to say I like what you're doing and I want to be part of it and I want to support it. So check that out if you want to be part of it. And let's get this last set going. Here we go, extend it out. That's 2. Might take these ones real slow here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, awesome job on finishing this routine out. I know this was a tough one, but you know, if you got a blaze, you're up for the challenge. So don't forget to remove your power rods from tension and wrap them up with a bungee cord or some Velcro or something to keep them nice and strong. So awesome job again on finishing. As always, you should be proud of yourself for it. You should be good to yourself. I want you to be good to others. Thanks for watching.